Hello guys, how are we all doing? Welcome back to Championship Predictions. It's Championship Predictions week 2 today, as we've got more big Championship games to bring to you and to predict. I'm joined by Sophie.
I'm looking forward to this after that opening weekend. I thought that was really good, so we'll see if this week matches it.
Yeah, there's lots of drama in the first week of the Championship. Coventry obviously lost, but
Want to talk about that?
let's not talk about it. Well, maybe we'll have to in a minute, because Coventry are the first game. But before we get into that, the scores are on the door. Sophie did do better than me in the first week of Championship Predictions. You got 2 predictions bang on, by the way. Okay. It's 2 points for a prediction bang on, 1 point for a correct outcome if you tipped a team to win and they win, but it's not the same scoreline as you said. So on and so forth. Before we get into this video, do make sure to drop a like. Let's go for 600 likes on this one. Do make sure, of course, to subscribe as well. And like I say, get your Championship predictions down below. Let's start at the CBS, Sophie. Saturday's lunchtime game, Coventry City are taking on Middlesbrough. I'm sick of this game. Coventry and Middlesbrough just keep playing each other.
Them, honestly. There's other teams.
Yeah, God. Why do we have to just keep playing Middlesbrough? But I do like Middlesbrough. They're going to be a tough nut to crack. But we did do all right against them last year.
We did.
At 4 games, we beat them twice and drew twice. So that's not a terrible return, but they were tight. Middlesbrough lost on the opening day. They lost against Millwall, but they did just beat Huddersfield 3-2 in the Carabao Cup, if that's something they want to take. Obviously, we went to the King Power to see Coventry City lose their opening game away at Leicester, but despite losing
wasn't a bad performance.
I'm taking the positives out of that. I'm taking the positives.
Yeah.
I thought we played all right. We led for most of the second half, and I feel like the quality beat us. We matched a team that everyone's tipping to win the league, but we've got to start scoring points. Performances are important, but so are results, and we've got to start scoring some points. I think Coventry might not struggle to get going, but just be a little bit slow off the mark this season, because we've got some tough games at the start here. I think Coventry aren't going to quite be in our groove yet, and I'm going to go for a draw on this one. Middlesbrough, as I say, it's always tight. If I had to go one way, I would maybe go Coventry, because I think Middlesbrough have a pretty bad record here. But I'm going to go 1-1.
Okay, so I tipped us to lose last week 2-1. I got it right. I'm tipping us to win 2-1 today. I do agree though, saying that, I actually do feel like we'll get off to a little bit of a slow start. We've got a lot of new players in the starting 11. It's going to take a little bit of time to gel. However, Middlesbrough, they're a different side to what they were last season. They didn't look amazing against Millwall, and I thought they looked beatable, to be honest. So that's why I'm fairly confident going into this. I do see it being quite a tight game, and that's why I'm only saying 2-1. But I do see us winning this one. 2-1.
Okay, right, let's go to St Andrews for the 3 PM kickoffs, and it's Birmingham City against Leeds United. This is a really interesting one. Both sides picked up a draw in the opening weekend. Leeds United drew 2-2 at home to Cardiff, having come from behind. Birmingham City, they drew 1-1 away at Swansea, so both picking up a draw against a Welsh side last week. I don't know, I'm struggling with this one, Soph. I think this could be another draw. I think Leeds United I've tipped to do very well this season. They might take a little while to get going. Birmingham City, they're going to be a little bit stronger in my opinion this season, and they got a good draw at Swansea last week. I remember this game a few years ago in the Championship. Leeds won 5-4 at Birmingham. Really crazy game. That was the season I think Leeds went up to the Premier League. I don't think there'll be as many goals as that, but I think there could be another Desmond here for Leeds. I think Birmingham are going to score 2 and Leeds United are going to score 2.
See, I can see there being goals, but I do see there being a winner here, and I'm going to say Birmingham are going to win this. Ooh. I did back them to win on the opening day. They didn't. They were 1-0 up, and then obviously they got the point. It wasn't a bad performance, and I feel like against Leeds at the moment, this could be a good time to play them, to be honest, before they get in their groove. So I am going to back the home side, but I see it being an entertaining game. 2-1.
2-1. Okay, Sophie, to Cardiff City as they take on Queen's Park Rangers. I don't know. At the start of the season, these were 2 teams we didn't tip to do very well. QPR didn't do very well in the first week. They were destroyed by Watford. But Cardiff, let's give them some credit. They could have won, but they still picked up a decent draw at Leeds, 2-2.
Yeah, so if you looked at that before the game had started, you'd think that's a good result. However, when you're 2-0 up and then to concede 2 and just come away with a point, it is a little bit disappointing.
Especially when the equaliser came like so deep in stoppage time. I think I've got a back Cardiff based on what we can see so far. It's very difficult to do predictions at this stage of the season because all you can base it on is the transfer business and what you saw in the first week. And I feel more confident going for Cardiff. So I'm going to go Cardiff 2, QPR 1.
Yeah, I'm actually going to back Cardiff to win as well. With QPR, obviously, they got absolutely battered by Watford. But what I will say is Begovic looks to be a great signing for them. Yeah, to lose 4-0 and for your keeper to be the best player, that's saying something about the side, isn't it? So, depends if he can kind of keep them in this game. I do feel like Cardiff are going to win this one. I don't see there being masses of goals, but Cardiff win 1-0 for me.
Cardiff 1-0. Okay, Sophie, let's go to Huddersfield Town who take on Leicester City. Leicester beat Coventry. I don't think they were entirely convincing, but we both expect Leicester City to be good this season. We reckon they'll gel as the season goes on and they've got quality to carry them even when they haven't played well. Huddersfield Town, not a great start to the season for them. 3-1 defeat at Plymouth, just gone out the Carabao Cup to Middlesbrough as well. And I really don't see them getting anything from this game. I think Leicester City, as I say, have got the quality. I don't know if they'll be at their fully best yet because, you know, the season's quite young. But Leicester City are going to win, and I'm going to say 2-0.
Yeah, I'm actually going to agree with you, 2-0. I don't see them conceding in this one. I feel like against Coventry, they did look quite strong sometimes at the back. The keeper had a good game for me. He looks like he could be a good keeper for that side. Huddersfield so far, not looking amazing, as you say. Season in the league and then obviously in the cup, 2 defeats, so they'll obviously want to bounce back from that, and this is a hard game to go into after that, and I don't see them getting anything, not even a goal for me. So 2-0.
2-0. Right, so if I'm struggling with this one, we're going to the KC or the KCOM. Hull City take on Sheffield Wednesday. Where do you start with this? Both sides lost late on in their opening games against teams that could do well this season. Hull City will feel robbed with how they lost to Norwich. The ball appeared to go out before a corner was given to Norwich.
It did go out. No.
From what I've seen of it, I can't say that didn't go out. It did. And it's unfortunate for Hull, but it's the way it is. Sheffield Wednesday, I thought they were okay against Southampton.
They were quite good actually.
But I don't know, maybe these two sides are just going to slowly start moving, and I think they'll both get their first point here. Let's go 1-1.
I genuinely think this could go either way, to be honest. I think it's going to be quite a good game, like quite an evenly matched game. I agree, I feel like Hull will feel robbed after that opening day game and they'll want to bounce back from that. Equally so will Sheffield Wednesday, because they were very much in it against a really strong Southampton side, so again that's really promising from them. It's hard to separate the two, but I do feel like I'm going to have to back the Tigers in this one, and I'll say 2-1.
Next up to Portman Road as Ipswich Town take on Stoke City. Both sides with a good start to the new season. Ipswich Town winning away at Sunderland 2-1. That was a really good performance and a great result, of course. Stoke City, they destroyed Rotherham 4-1 on the opening day, and they've just gone through in the Carabao Cup against fellow Championship side West Bromwich Albion. Stoke got to be happy with what they've seen so far, but I was so impressed by Ipswich Town against Sunderland. It's another game I feel tempted to sit on the fence, but I think what we might get from Ipswich this season is, you know, like a team that can come up and just get off to a really good start. Teams are struggling to figure them out, and maybe through the season they could drop a little bit, but I'm going to go for Ipswich to make it 2 out of 2 here. It's a difficult one because Stoke have looked good, but I think Ipswich might edge it. I'm going to go 1-0.
I'm going to go for the Desmond in this one. I feel like both teams are looking good so far. Stoke, I've said it quite a few times now, they've had a good transfer window and it seems like they're getting it clicking quite quickly, which is important. Ipswich again, they're coming up and they're looking strong, so that's why I can't separate the two at the moment, so it's going to be an entertaining 2-2.
Next up, on to the Den, where Millwall take on Bristol City. Funny start for Millwall. Great win away at Middlesbrough, 1-0. They got destroyed by Reading in the Carabao Cup last night, though. As for Bristol City, their opening game saw them draw 1-1 with Preston, which is an okay point. I think, I don't want to look into one game too much, but it almost tells a story of Bristol City and Preston being two mid-table sides again. I don't think there'll be a lot in this, but I think Millwall could just edge it. So I'm going to go for the trusty 1-0 to Millwall, and I think they're going to be I've tipped them to get into the playoffs this time round, and if that Middlesbrough result is anything to go by, it could be right.
Yeah, I mean, we usually go for the trusty Millwall 1-0 at home. However, they got it away from home on the opening day. So, fair play, Millwall. I actually see you winning this one again, and I feel like it could be a little bit more of an assured performance. 2-0.
2-0?
Yeah.
You're not going to go 1-0 Millwall?
No, not today, I'm not.
Oh, there you go. Right, Sophie, on to Deepdale, where Preston North End host Sunderland. Now, these two met on the final day of last season at Deepdale, and Sunderland won 3-0 as they cruised into that final playoff spot. Feels like it's a different story this time round. Preston have actually got something to play for because the season's very young. Whereas Sunderland, they've stuttered so far this season. They've lost to Ipswich. They've lost to Crewe in the Carabao Cup.
Yeah.
I'm struggling here. I don't think there's a lot between them at the moment.
No, not right now.
But maybe Sunderland do get their season up and running here. I think they were so head and shoulders clear of Preston on the final day of last year. And I think in our championship predictions for the season, we've both got Sunderland above Preston.
Yeah.
I think it'll be tight, but I am going to back Sunderland to get their first win. I think the quality might start to show. I'm going to go 2-1 Black Cats.
Do you know, I'm actually going to back a draw again. Going to be dead boring and sit on the fence. I see it being a really tight game, and I see Sunderland being the more dominant team, but not quite getting it over the line. So for me, it's going to be 1-1.
1-1. Okay, right, to the New York Stadium, where Rotherham take on Blackburn Rovers. Good start to the season for Blackburn. They beat West Brom 2-1, and they beat Walsall in the Carabao Cup 4-3. Rotherham, meanwhile, not a great start for them in the Championship at the weekend as they lost 4-1 to Stoke City. You feel like they want to try and get points in these first 2-3 games to not be like in the bottom three already, where people think they could be this season. I don't know though. I think Blackburn are having a good start to the season, and they could maybe see Blackburn getting another win here. It's difficult though. Rotherham could be quite solid at home, but I'm going to go Blackburn. I'm going to go 2-0.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going for the same deficit. I'm going to say 3-1 Blackburn. I see there being a few goals in this. A little bit similar to the Stoke game. Again, Rotherham getting a goal. Them being at home, that's why I feel like it could be slightly tighter, but I do see them losing this. Blackburn are looking quite good, and I feel like this would be a great result for them. So 3-1. 3-1
Blackburn. Right, on to the South Coast, Sophie, as Southampton take on Norwich City. Both of these sides picked up late wins in the opening championship weekend, and I don't know. I think both sides could be up there this season. Lots of people's predictions and the bookies' odds will have these two to be strong sides this time round. I just think Southampton, for me, have a bit more about them. They've just come down from the Prem. They were very good against Sheffield Wednesday. I feel like they controlled the game in terms of they had more possession, as you expect under Russell Martin, and they created more. I think that, I don't know, I think I'm going to go Southampton here. I don't know what they were doing in the Carabao Cup last night against Gillingham, however, but I'll go Southampton to beat Norwich 2-1.
So I'm going for another 3-1 here. I feel like with Southampton, their XG is going to be really high. It's just sometimes with the Russell Martin side, they have all the position. It's just those like clear-cut chances and just finishing them off. But at Southampton, they've got that quality that Swansea at times lacked last season. Norwich, I do feel are going to have a better season this season. So I feel like they're going to be in this game, but Southampton at the end, they're going to have too much for me. So again, 3-1.
3-1. Okay, right, 2 games to go. Let's go to Vicarage Road, where Watford take on Plymouth Argyle.
Oh.
Both sides have had a good start in the league. Plymouth beating Huddersfield 3-1. We did both back them to win. But Watford are top of the championship at the moment because they beat QPR 4-0. You could say Watford maybe had the easiest fixture on paper. I don't know. At home to a team that we all think are going to be in trouble this year, but to dispatch of them 4-0 and looking at the stats, it really could have been more. Not going to take much away from Watford there. Watford have gone out the Carabao Cup though. They lost to Stevenage Borough, which we both predicted, to be honest. We both knew Stevenage would do the business. Watford and Plymouth, difficult one. Plymouth, like I say, they've had a good start, good result in the Carabao Cup as well. I think Plymouth could get a draw here, which I think would be a very positive result for them. They've had a good start. Watford maybe slight favourites, but Plymouth looks solid. 1-1.
Yeah, Watford are going to be the favourites going into this, especially being the home side. You can't take anything away from Plymouth because what an opening game that was, and I feel like they're going to have a good season, to be honest. Watford, 4-0 against QPR, and it could have been a lot more as well. So I do see them winning this next fixture as well. But a tighter game, much tighter game, 2-1.
2-1 Watford. Yeah. Difficult one to separate. And finally, we finish off at the Hawthorns, where West Bromwich Albion host Swansea City. West Brom, as we say, they lost to Blackburn Rovers. They've also lost to Stoke City in the Carabao Cup. They'll be hoping to avoid 3 defeats from 3 in all competitions at the start here. Swansea City, meanwhile, they've got past Northampton in the Carabao Cup, and in the opening weekend of the Championship, they drew 1-1 with Birmingham. Jerry Yates getting up and running for the season. This is difficult. I think West Brom being at home, I'm tempted to go for a draw, whereas if this was at Swansea, I'd feel maybe more confident backing them. We've both predicted West Brom to be in the top half this season, and you know, it's a long 46 game stretch, so it could happen, but I've started to have a couple of reservations about the Baggies. I'm not going for them here. I'm going to go for Swansea actually to just eke out a win. I think Swansea have looked all right under Michael Duff, and I could see them picking up the 3 points. I'm going to go 1-0. Yeah,
I'm going to agree with you. Bang on scoreline, 1-0 for me, Swansea. Great that your strikers getting up and running in their first game. And West Brom, we said they've had a quiet summer transfer window. Obviously, we know why, with everything going on at the club. I do think it could affect them this season. I'm not going to say it's going to be a goal fest and one side's going to completely batter the other. So I see it being a tight game, but Swansea walk away winners, 1-0.
1-0 Swansea. There you go, guys. That wraps up our Championship predictions for week 2. As I say, do make sure to get your Championship predictions down below, and we'll let you know how we got on in the next video next week. Do make sure, as I say, to hit that like button, and do make sure to subscribe. Thank you for joining me, Sophie.
Thank you.
We'll see you all in the next one. Peace out.